Have you ever wondered why some people seem to possess an unshakable clarity of mind? Why, even in the chaos of life, they respond with wisdom instead of confusion, with understanding instead of ignorance? The truth is, intelligence is not just about the ability to memorize facts or calculate quickly. True intelligence is about how you live, how you think, and how you interpret the world around you. And the ancient Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and others, left us timeless lessons that can sharpen the mind, strengthen the soul, and maximize your intelligence far beyond the limits of ordinary thought. Before we begin, let me ask you this. Do you want to rise above the noise of the world and master your own mind? Do you want to learn how to think with clarity, reason with precision, and make decisions guided not by impulse, but by wisdom? If your answer is yes, then you are exactly in the right place. This is not just another motivational talk. This is a journey into the very core of Stoic wisdom. A journey that will unlock 15 lessons to maximize your intelligence and transform the way you think. But first, I have one request. If you find these lessons valuable, make sure you subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below sharing which Stoic idea resonates with you most. Your engagement helps us build a community of thinkers, philosophers, and seekers of truth who refuse to settle for mediocrity of the mind. So hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and let us walk this path of wisdom together. Now let us begin. Lesson 1. Master the art of self-discipline. The Stoics believed that without self-discipline, intelligence crumbles into nothing more than wasted potential. Intelligence is not measured by how much you know, but by how well you control your impulses, emotions, and desires. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This quote reveals a deep truth. Without discipline, you are a prisoner of your own passions. Think about it. How often do we allow distractions to scatter our focus? How often do we give in to impulses that sabotage our long-term growth? True intelligence requires the ability to direct your mind, like a commander directing his army. If your thoughts are scattered, your intelligence is weakened. But if your mind is ordered, disciplined, and focused, then your intelligence becomes like a sharpened blade, precise, powerful, and effective. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Here, he reminds us that discipline is not about controlling the external world, but about mastering our own thoughts. To maximize your intelligence, you must first silence the inner noise, control your impulses, and train your mind to stay steady no matter what storms rage outside. Practical reflection. Try this exercise today. When you feel an urge to act out of anger, laziness, or distraction, pause for just a few seconds. In those seconds, ask yourself, is this action in alignment with the person I want to become? That brief pause is where intelligence grows. Each time you choose discipline over impulse, your intelligence sharpens like steel in fire. Remember, the one who masters himself has already unlocked the greatest foundation of intelligence. Lesson 2. Embrace the power of rational thinking. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the belief that reason is the highest faculty of the human being. While emotions and impulses can cloud judgment, reason is what separates us from chaos. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This timeless truth demonstrates that intelligent living is not about avoiding hardship, but about responding to hardship with rational thought instead of blind reaction. An intelligent person is not one who avoids difficulties, but one who approaches them with clarity. For example, if someone insults you, the instinctive reaction may be anger. But the Stoic path says, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, does this insult truly harm me, or is it only noise carried by the wind? If you allow yourself to be dragged by emotion, you hand your power to others. But if you stand firm in reason, you remain unshaken. Marcus Aurelius advised himself in his writings, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This is not just moral advice. It is a formula for intellectual clarity. By anchoring our thoughts and actions in truth, we sharpen our ability to see reality as it is, rather than through the haze of delusion. To maximize your intelligence, you must train yourself to see things as they are, not as your fears, desires, or biases want them to be. Rational thinking demands honesty with yourself and with the world. Practical reflection. Each time you face a challenge, ask yourself 3 questions. What is within my control here? What is outside my control? What is the most reasonable step forward? This simple Stoic method trains the mind to strip away noise and focus only on what matters. Over time, it strengthens intelligence by aligning thought with truth and reality. So far, we have seen that self-discipline and rational thinking form the unshakable foundation of Stoic intelligence. Without discipline, your mind is scattered. Without reason, your thoughts are blinded. But with both, you stand on the path of wisdom. In the next part, we will go deeper. We will explore how the Stoics used adversity to sharpen their minds, how they embraced humility as a secret weapon of intelligence, and how they practiced daily reflection to cleanse the soul and clarify thought. So stay with me, because the next lessons will challenge you even more and elevate your mind beyond ordinary limits. Welcome back, seeker of wisdom. In part 1, we laid the foundation of Stoic intelligence by learning the importance of self-discipline and rational thinking. These two are the pillars upon which all true wisdom is built. But to truly maximize your intelligence, the Stoics believe that you must also embrace the challenges of life, cultivate humility, and reflect daily on your actions. These next lessons will take us deeper into the heart of Stoicism, showing us not just how to think, but how to live wisely. Lesson 3. Turn adversity into your teacher. To the Stoics, adversity was never an enemy. Instead, it was one of the greatest teachers of intelligence. Life's difficulties sharpen the mind in ways comfort never could. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Think about that. Just as lifting weights strengthens muscles, facing challenges strengthens intelligence. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle is an opportunity to exercise reason, patience, and creativity. Marcus Aurelius also reminded himself in his meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is perhaps one of the most profound Stoic lessons ever written. The obstacle is not a barrier. It is the very path to growth. Ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something truly valuable in a moment of comfort? Comfort rarely teaches us, but hardship forces us to think differently, to innovate, to look deeper within ourselves. In struggle, intelligence awakens. Practical reflection. The next time life throws an obstacle in your path, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Each difficulty is a classroom. Each pain is a lesson. When you train your mind to see adversity as a tool, not a curse, your intelligence expands beyond measure. Lesson 4. Practice humility to unlock deeper knowledge. One of the greatest enemies of intelligence is arrogance. To believe you already know enough is to block yourself from further growth. The Stoics taught humility not as weakness, but as a key to wisdom. Epictetus advised his students, "It is impossible to learn that which one thinks one already knows." This is a sharp warning. If you think you are already wise, you stop listening, stop questioning, and stop learning. Humility, therefore, is not just a moral virtue. It is an intellectual necessity. Marcus Aurelius, despite being the most powerful man in the world as Emperor of Rome, constantly reminded himself of his own ignorance. He wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone." Imagine that, a Roman emperor willing to admit when he was wrong. That is true humility. In today's world, humility means staying open-minded. It means asking questions instead of pretending to have all the answers. It means listening more than you speak. And most importantly, it means admitting mistakes and correcting them quickly. Practical reflection. Each day, remind yourself of this truth. There is always more to learn. Practice humility by seeking knowledge from everyone, regardless of their status or background. A child may teach you simplicity. A stranger may teach you patience. A critic may teach you resilience. When you approach life with humility, the entire world becomes your teacher. Lesson 5. Cultivate daily reflection for mental clarity. The Stoics were relentless in their practice of self-examination. They believed that a life unexamined is a life clouded by ignorance. Daily reflection was their method for cleansing the mind and sharpening intelligence. Seneca described this practice beautifully when he said, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said." In these quiet moments, he would ask himself where he acted wisely, where he failed, and where he needed improvement. Why is this so important for intelligence? Because reflection transforms experience into wisdom. Without reflection, mistakes repeat themselves. Without reflection, knowledge remains shallow. But with reflection, you refine your thinking, strengthen your reasoning, and cleanse your mind of error. Marcus Aurelius practiced the same habit in his meditations. His writings were not intended for the world. They were his personal reflections, his dialogue with his own soul. And yet, those private reflections have become a guide for millions of seekers of wisdom throughout history. Practical reflection. Set aside 10 minutes at the end of each day. In silence, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I allow emotions to cloud my judgment? What lesson can I carry into tomorrow? This simple practice transforms your mind. It turns every day into a lesson, every mistake into a teacher, and every success into a stepping stone. Over time, your intelligence will grow not just from what you experience, but from the wisdom you extract from those experiences. So far, we have explored the first 5 Stoic lessons to maximize your intelligence. Mastering self-discipline, embracing rational thinking, turning adversity into your teacher, practicing humility to unlock deeper knowledge, cultivating daily reflection for clarity. Already, these lessons alone can change the way you think and live. But we are only just beginning. In the next part, we will uncover more profound Stoic teachings. Lessons about controlling your speech, seeking wisdom over wealth, and mastering the art of patience. These insights will take your intelligence to even greater heights. So, stay tuned for part 3. And remember, if you find these teachings valuable, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share your reflections in the comments. Which lesson so far speaks most deeply to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Welcome back, my friend. By now, you have walked with me through 5 Stoic lessons that sharpen the mind and elevate the soul. You have learned the value of self-discipline, the power of rational thought, the gift of adversity, the strength of humility, and the clarity of daily reflection. But our journey does not end there. To maximize your intelligence, the Stoics urge us to refine not only the way we think but also the way we speak, the way we measure success, and the way we approach time itself. In this part, we will uncover 3 more lessons that strike at the very heart of wisdom. The discipline of speech, the pursuit of wisdom over wealth, and the cultivation of patience. Lesson 6. Control your tongue, control your mind. Speech is one of the most powerful tools of intelligence. But when uncontrolled, it becomes a weapon of ignorance. The Stoics knew that the wise do not waste words. Epictetus taught, "First learn the meaning of what you say and then speak." Simple yet profound. He reminds us that careless words are the marks of a careless mind, while thoughtful words are the fruit of deep intelligence. Seneca also warned against idle chatter. It is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence. The ability to stay silent when silence is wiser than words is itself a sign of great intelligence. Why is this so important? Because every word we speak reveals the quality of our thought. Those who speak in anger, gossip, or foolishness reveal a lack of mastery over their own minds. But those who speak with clarity, precision, and truth reveal a mind disciplined and sharp. Practical reflection. Before you speak, pause for just one breath. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this kind? If the answer is no, hold your tongue. In doing so, you protect your intelligence from being weakened by foolish speech, and you strengthen your ability to think and speak with wisdom. Remember, mastery over speech is mastery over thought. Lesson 7. Value wisdom over wealth. In today's world, intelligence is often measured by money, status, or material success. But the Stoics rejected this illusion. To them, true wealth was not found in gold or possessions, but in wisdom. Seneca wrote, "Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool." This is a powerful statement. The fool chases wealth and becomes enslaved by his desires. But the wise man treats wealth as a tool, never as a master. His true treasure lies in knowledge, virtue, and self-control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." What greater intelligence is there than to realize that happiness does not come from what you own, but from how you think? The Stoics teach us that seeking wealth at the expense of wisdom is like trading gold for dust. Intelligence is not about how much you accumulate, but about how well you use what you already have. The pursuit of wisdom ensures growth of the mind and freedom of the soul. Practical reflection. Each time you feel tempted to measure your worth by wealth or possessions, remind yourself of this. Will this add to my wisdom, or will it distract me from it? Choose the path that enriches your mind, not just your pocket. That choice is the mark of true intelligence. Lesson 8. Cultivate the power of patience. If intelligence is the ability to see clearly, then patience is the ability to wait until clarity arrives. The Stoics placed immense value on patience, because they knew that impatience clouds judgment and weakens the mind. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This truth applies to wisdom, to character, and to life itself. Intelligence grows like a tree. It needs time, care, and patience. Those who rush, those who seek instant gratification, often destroy the very thing they wish to build. Marcus Aurelius echoed this when he wrote, "Time is like a river made up of events and a violent stream. For as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place." Here, he reminds us that life flows continuously, and impatience cannot stop the current. Intelligent people learn to move with the flow of time, not against it. Seneca also offered wisdom on patience. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Patience is not about waiting passively. It is about using time wisely, without rushing, without wasting, without despairing. Practical reflection. The next time you feel restless or impatient, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what am I rushing for? What is truly within my control right now? By practicing patience, you strengthen your ability to see clearly, to think wisely, and to act intelligently. So far, we have explored 8 powerful Stoic lessons: self-discipline, rational thinking, using adversity as a teacher, humility, daily reflection, the discipline of speech, wisdom over wealth, patience. These lessons together already form a powerful framework for maximizing your intelligence. But we still have 7 more to go. In the final part, we will complete our journey with the remaining Stoic lessons on emotional mastery, simplicity, focusing on virtue, the art of perspective, and much more. So stay with me, because the best is yet to come. And remember, if these teachings resonate with you, don't just listen, act. Subscribe to this channel, share your reflections in the comments, and let us walk together as seekers of wisdom. Welcome once again, seeker of wisdom. We have traveled far together through the teachings of Stoicism, from mastering discipline to practicing patience, from valuing wisdom over wealth to reflecting daily on our actions. Each lesson has sharpened our minds and strengthened our souls. Now, we arrive at the final stage of our journey. Here, we will uncover the last 7 Stoic lessons that will maximize your intelligence and give you the clarity, strength, and resilience of a true philosopher. These final teachings are the crown of Stoic wisdom, the ideas that tie everything together. Let us begin. Lesson 9. Master your emotions, master your mind. The Stoics were not against emotions. They understood that emotions are natural, but they warned against being enslaved by them. For a mind ruled by passion is a mind clouded, unable to see truth clearly. Epictetus declared, "When we are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." This teaching shows us that intelligence is not found in quick anger or emotional outbursts, but in calm self-examination. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotional mastery means understanding that we cannot control the world, but we can always control our responses. Practical reflection. The next time you feel overwhelmed by anger, fear, or envy, pause. Ask yourself, does this emotion help me think clearly, or does it blind me? By mastering your emotions, you free your mind to see truth without distortion. That is true intelligence. Lesson 10. Choose simplicity over excess. The Stoics lived simple lives, not because they feared wealth, but because they knew that excess distracts and weakens the mind. True intelligence thrives in clarity, and clarity is found in simplicity. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This is not just about possessions, it is about desires. The more we crave, the less room our mind has for wisdom. Marcus Aurelius echoed this with his reminder, "Very little is needed to make a happy life." Simplicity sharpens focus. It removes clutter from both our environment and our thinking. Practical reflection. Look at your life. What do you own, consume, or chase that adds nothing to your intelligence or virtue? Begin removing what is unnecessary. Each act of simplification clears a space in your mind for wisdom to grow. Lesson 11. Focus on virtue as the highest good. To the Stoics, intelligence without virtue is dangerous. True intelligence is not about cunning or manipulation, but about aligning thought with moral excellence. Virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance was the ultimate goal. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This is not merely practical. It is deeply philosophical. Intelligence must serve virtue. Otherwise, it becomes corrupted by selfishness. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This focus on virtue ensured that his intelligence served the greater good, not just his personal ambition. Practical reflection. Each decision you make, ask, does this action align with virtue? If the answer is yes, proceed with confidence. If not, step back. This simple practice ensures that your intelligence is not wasted on paths that lead to regret. Lesson 12. Expand your perspective beyond yourself. The Stoics taught that narrow thinking is the enemy of wisdom. To maximize intelligence, one must expand perspective beyond personal desires and view life from a higher standpoint. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about seeing himself as part of the universe. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. This cosmic perspective frees the mind from petty concerns and allows intelligence to rise above ego. Seneca also taught, "We are members of one great body, planted by nature." In this teaching, he reminds us that wisdom is not self-centered, it is interconnected. To think deeply, you must think beyond yourself. Practical reflection. When faced with a challenge, ask, how will this matter in 5 years, 10 years, to the universe itself? Expanding your perspective reduces anxiety, deepens understanding, and sharpens intelligence. Lesson 13. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude is often overlooked as a form of intelligence, but the Stoics saw it as essential. A grateful mind is clear, calm, and resilient, while an ungrateful mind is restless, blind, and always lacking. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Gratitude transforms perception. It shifts focus from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to appreciation. Marcus Aurelius would begin each day with gratitude, reminding himself, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." Practical reflection. Each morning, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They may be small or great. It does not matter. This daily habit rewires your mind to see clearly, to focus on what is present instead of what is missing. Gratitude nourishes intelligence by training the mind to look at reality with clarity and balance. Lesson 14. Accept mortality as a teacher. The Stoics constantly reflected on death, not to become fearful, but to become wise. For nothing clarifies the mind more than the awareness of mortality. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." By remembering death, we learn to stop wasting time on trivialities. We focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius advised himself, You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This is not meant to terrify, but to sharpen awareness. Death is the ultimate teacher of intelligence because it forces us to see the brevity of life and the urgency of living wisely. Practical reflection. Each day, remind yourself, life is finite. How will I spend my time today? This awareness burns away distractions and centers your mind on what is essential. That focus is intelligence in its purest form. Lesson 15. Never stop seeking wisdom. The final Stoic lesson is perhaps the most important. Intelligence is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. No matter how much you know, there is always more to learn. Epictetus declared, "Only the educated are free." Knowledge frees us from ignorance, from fear, and from the chains of false belief. Seneca also reminded us, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. Intelligence is not about having all the answers. It is about maintaining the humility and discipline to keep seeking truth until your final breath. Marcus Aurelius embodied this in his meditations. Even as emperor, he continued to write, reflect, and study. He never claimed to have mastered wisdom. He remained a student of philosophy until the end. Practical reflection. Dedicate time every day to learning. Read, reflect, question, and grow. Approach life not as a master, but as an eternal student. This attitude ensures that your intelligence never stagnates, but continues to expand and evolve. We have now reached the end of our journey. Let us recall the 15 Stoic lessons to maximize your intelligence. Master the art of self-discipline. Embrace the power of rational thinking. Turn adversity into your teacher. Practice humility to unlock deeper knowledge. Cultivate daily reflection for mental clarity. Control your tongue, control your mind. Value wisdom over wealth. Cultivate the power of patience. Master your emotions. Choose simplicity over excess. Focus on virtue as the highest good. Expand your perspective beyond yourself. Practice gratitude daily. Accept mortality as a teacher. Never stop seeking wisdom. These lessons together form a map, not just to intelligence, but to a life lived with clarity, purpose, and strength. If you have walked with me through all 4 parts of this journey, then you have already proven your commitment to wisdom. Remember, knowledge is nothing without action. So choose one lesson today, just one, and begin practicing it. That is how intelligence grows, step by step, day by day. And before we part, I have one final request. If these Stoic lessons have inspired you, make sure to subscribe to this channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and spread this message of wisdom with others. Which of the 15 lessons spoke to you the most? I want to hear your reflections. Together, let us keep the fire of Stoic wisdom alive, not just in words, but in the way we think, speak, and live. Stay disciplined, stay humble, and never stop seeking wisdom.